previous text, the previous chat. Jonas, I'm just going to talk about you for a minute and you have a conversation with us. So on today's show, we're Carra, like I said, and we're going to cover top DNA, higher consciousness. Of course, I'm going to give a visualization. Not a medical professional. I give personal serenity. My holistic intuitive wisdom coach, Reiki master. Bright light shines on us. Part of a whole. Every thought is very powerful. Pain is my pain, and my pain is yours. I'm just trying to... now, the sacred knowledge is to connect to a light source and record your sleeping dreams on your ultimate destiny. So and she's a medium psychic, and she grew up in a metaphysical family, so psychical to her. And it wasn't like a supernatural. She gives guidance on matters of the heart and help you overcome blocks.
Keeps going in and out.
Joan gives spiritual recognized in 7 books. The first 100 top psychics in America, introduced and the rational psychic. Editor or contributing writer for the new chakras. She's been interviewed in Wag Street Journal, New York Magazine, and the Daily. She's predicted the flooding of New York City, Hurricane Sandy, and in 2011, television not be America's first woman president, Joan. So Joan, her website, which I'm going to put in the chat, psychic.net. So we have Joan right.
Hello.
Hi. So great to see you. So how have you been? What's new with you?
That's a good question. Well, we're now coming out of the COVID. I took classes, which I usually, so I took advantage and did some writing and studied. Mary is an expert in that subject. And even now I'm taking technical courses, and it's very difficult. It's not using your psychic mind because you have to, if you work for detectives or FBI.
I think it's the weather. Saying that it's there's a lag. Know if the weather is affecting the stream. I'm gonna ask because we have a guest right now. I don't want to miss out on this. I don't want anyone to not hear a response. We have viewers right now. Okay, well we'll just continue. You know what? Now it's 8 slow frames. I don't know what to. I don't know if I should just hang up and do it again and not just do the whole presentation, just bring you right.
It's like I've been turned off. You mean to reschedule?
You can't reschedule. Hopefully the vote will review afterwards as well.
All right, you know better than me. Your text.
Okay, I will connect because I'm wondering. Connect it. I'm just gonna disconnect it because I want everyone to hear you. Slow frames 8, and I know it's because of the weather. There's a storm, so I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna hang up and do it one more time. Other channels are normal. Afraid the void will be the same as we see now. Now it's 9 slow frames. That's a bummer. It's this whole day like this, isn't it, Joan? The whole day. I was so set today. I was on time. What's happening? What's going on?
You know, life is very strange, right?
Yeah.
Throwing a curveball now and then. Oh, wait, but when everything's in harmony.
It's clear now. It's clear. Okay, so they're saying it's clear. Okay, so hopefully it's clear. So here's Joan, and Joan is a medium psychic, and you were just explaining how you kind of changed what you were normally doing, and you took classes during COVID.
I usually don't take classes because I'm busy and I'm just doing what I'm doing. But the COVID time, the lockdown, I took advantage of the quiet time. So one of the things I'm working with now is psychic detectives, and now I'm studying with Karen Francis. It's a
psychic detectives. So in other words, like that you go to solve crimes.
Well, I don't know if I will even pursue it. It's a very challenging class because the first thing you have to study, which is not easy, is
Yeah.
someone, there's missing people
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
they dead or alive? And if still alive, FBI and police authorities will continue. Sorry.
So
Continue on there. And then you have to get a little bit of, see, the way you have to speak to the police, the people in the law enforcement, is you can't overanalyze. You
Right.
can't.
Right.
Like, example, we did a remote viewing. I did get a fire pit and a blue tent. When I saw the tents, I then interpreted it as a camping area. But that's where I was mistaken. Because you just the information is you see tents, because the actual murder location, they had a lot of land where they lived, and they had tents and a fire pit. But you have to just be very specific and don't interject your free association of things. So it's different. It's a little different, and the precision, and you're dealing with gory things. I mean, who wants to look at photos and say are they dead or alive? It's
So is it so? Okay, when you do something like that, I know that you connect with spirit. You connect to another world, another realm. Did you immediately, when you saw these pictures for this, whether or not they're dead or alive, did you immediately
it's totally
connect?
different. You're actually encouraged not to use your mediumship.
You what? Wait. Say that what?
You're encouraged not to work as a medium. So that goes out the window.
So it's all intuitive. You're basically like, what's your
You have to
immediate?
learn a new language of, do I feel it? Like, sometimes I'll feel it, like, in the chest area, like something, like puckering the lemon. It's puckering, like my body's like, ugh. But I have to make sure that the signals I get are correct, so it's a lot of practice. And I just would say it's a challenging effort even to study this, because we can't bring in what we know as a psychic.
Right.
Like, I know this, do this physiology, yes, they did it. I have to be so precise, which is good, because I think it will enhance mediumship, because we did some remote viewing, and that I was pretty good with, but this other stuff, now I did try many years ago to work on missing cases. Not easy, so I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave a whole bunch of psychics some information about a case. We were wrong. So I would say it's a specialty, and most psychics are not the experts in this. So it's not like on TV where everyone's working with the detective. On TV they make everything because they edit, they stage. So it's very interesting.
I'm losing you a little bit. So Joan, when you're doing this kind of work, isn't it stressful? Because if you don't get it right, you could, it's about saving lives and solving crimes.
Yeah, you don't want to. That's why when I did it, once a client, let's say about 3 times a client had asked me. One client, I was early in my career. I really thought the cousin was fine. I wound up that the cousins killed them. But it's a wild goose chase, so you have to be so sensitive. And I just would say I pursued this, but I thought it'd be interesting to enhance and learn, because I actually like this teacher, Karen Francis from Ireland. She used to be a war correspondent in the Iraqi war, and then her fiance suddenly passed.
Mm-hmm.
She was getting messages, and then she wound up studying mediumship and writing a book about till death do apart, something like that. But it's just interesting. I'm not an expert in this, but I just learned. Like, I did dreaming class back, and I know you, who particularly
Lost you there too. It's like you go in and out. It's this weather, you know, on the East Coast, it's storming here. It's either humid and hot and 100 degrees, or it's outside and it's storming. And here we are, because Joan's on the East Coast too. Joan's in a surrounding town for me. She's close by. It's not like you're in on another continent.
It's not a storm, like it's coming, but it's just a drizzle. But they say it's going to rain, but I don't know what to say, because I don't. It's a light drizzle, but I guess the streaming is very sensitive.
Well, you know, I mean, because we're like on a video chat and it goes in and out. I could never do that kind of work. I know that, you know, I've investigated it a little bit to find out what that entails, but I couldn't do that because I'm too empathic. It would make me sick to kind of connect to that, because you're, in some regards, if someone's committing crimes, they're evil. I mean, some people are really evil, so I couldn't do it. So I commend you that you're doing this.
Oh, no, I'm not doing this. I'm just...
Well, you're starting to. You're practicing, which
I don't
means...
know if I'll be the one to do it. And the teacher said that the expert, the psychics who do this, they do it for a very brief period. So you have a very good point, you know?
Right,
So
because it's like how much, you know, I mean, I think that I've heard and I've seen, obviously, that there's psychics that help the police solve crimes, but like I said, the pressure of getting it wrong, and and then also...
Gruesome. You see gruesome things when you feel that gut energy, where you're just so repulsed.
Yeah.
So I would say, you know, it's just something, I had the time and I thought it was a good teacher, so I'm looking at that. I'm not, you know, it's something where I don't even know if I'll ever even do it, but always, you know, like in any field, you want to constantly upgrade.
Right.
And even knowing about it is good, because maybe I could give a client who needs this kind of work, give them a name for who to work with, But I wanted to talk about lucid dreaming class. I just felt it was amazing, because I know I have a book on that, and I commend you for that. It's something where here our life is in the sleep. We're sleeping, so why not know what you could do sleeping? In the class that we talked about, you could do healings, visit people.
Right, you can, because you know the Native Americans studied dreams and would sit together and do what's called dream work, where you plan out what kind of goals that you set while you're sleeping, for it to affect your waking life. Yeah.
I love that. Wow.
So have you? Because it's funny, I call lucid dreams, which it's not the right definition, when I get a download of information and it happens like right before I go to sleep or right when I wake up. It feels very vivid, and it feels like I'm awake and all of my senses are completely aware. And that's when I've had, you know, entities or spirits come to me. What do you call a lucid dream? What happens for you?
The definition that they gave is being aware that I'm dreaming.
Wait, say that again? What is it?
Being aware that I am aware that I'm dreaming.
Right.
So if you have a nightmare, which actually my sister taught me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
She said, oh, June, if you ever have a nightmare, just say, well, I'm dreaming, so I can tell it to stop. So she was good at lucid dreaming. I just was so, this world is so rich of the dreams. My mom used to, she had a big fat dream book with symbolism, and all my relatives would call my mom. I had this, what does it mean? And that asked me that. I don't do that. I always say, you know, I'm not the expert. I did meet a person studied with the Carl Jung Institute for a few years to do that. Another person could just do it naturally. So I would say, I'm sorry, I got the allergies.
So Joan, I just got a question. You know, I told you how there's a chat. I don't know if you can see. So I just had Elder Reacts ask to me if you know how to help induce lucid dreams.
Well, I'll tell you what I learned in class.
Tell us. We'd love to hear it.
This teacher Robert Wagner with 2 G's. That's the actor. He's amazing. He looks like an accountant, and he's so far out. And I said, "Oh my God, I met ET people, these people," but I said, he's the one like with, who just looks like, "Oh, I work in the office." But he said at 16, as a teenager, he was reading Carlos Castaneda's, and I read Carlos too at 18. But he actually did the exercises, and Carlos said from the Andes shaman, you look at your hands the first time you want to program lucid dreaming, and you say, "When I see my hands in the dream, I will be triggered to realize that I'm aware that I'm dreaming." So I did that for a few days, and sure enough, I had it. Now my lucidity lasts very briefly, but I got excited in the dream. Oh, I saw my hands, I'm dreaming. I did get, but I didn't get like a long one. Now I had visionary dreams. I did see, I was really upset, it was years ago, I saw the tsunami in Japan. And I saw before and after pictures of the island and stuff. And I have a brother-in-law who's Japanese, so I couldn't even tell my sister. I was just so upset. And then you had the Indonesia, the tsunami there. Oh, there was an earthquake and tsunami, so I thought, oh, maybe that's it, because it looked like the map. But then, sure enough, Japan had the earthquake and tsunami. But that's something where for days I'm shaking.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've had too, Mary.
Well, I honestly, it's funny because if you tell yourself, like I kind of am very set in my boundaries on what I want to know and what I don't want to know. And I just think that, like I have more of a capability of, with humans, with predicting things with humans, and like, I get like a graph in my head, like I see a timeline and I'll say how long till this happens, or that's how I am. But when it comes to like catastrophic events or tragedies, I really shut down. I can't take it. I don't want to know. I want to just live in this moment. And so I that's amazing that you can do that.
I very rarely have that. I mean, very rarely. So it's now like, I mean, if I have a once every 10, 15 years, that's amazing.
You haven't had any recent ones, have you? Like anything about 2025? Because I'm hearing 2025.
25? Wow.
I'm hearing 20. I mean, I've heard that like there's little conversations about 2025 that something's happening.
Well, what do you think?
I've heard it's related to the aliens. 2025.
Well, that's great, because I'm through the UFO group with a done for.
Wait, you joined the UFO group?
I have a whole CD on it. I just have to upgrade it, because we did it on cassette, and now I got it on a CD. And I want to put visuals to it. So I would say that would be fantastic. Now, one of the things which I think we all have to not think of them as, we're going to save the world, or they're going to destroy us. Be neutral. You don't know. Be more neutral. 2020, I would feel earth changes, which we're seeing now, and it's we have to do it back.
I'm losing you. So don't stop right now what you're saying, because we want to get it, because I just lost you. Now I got you back. Okay.
Okay, but you're frozen.
I'm frozen?
Yeah. Now all right. Your face was frozen. Yeah, you freeze. Oh,
Here I am. I'm back.
Frozen. I don't even.
Okay. Here's a question.
Earth changes is something
Okay.
we have to be more proactive with, but I think we're so in denial about doing anything. I don't know what to think with that. I don't feel good about the earth changes, but at the same time, because I'm an optimist, there's always going to be a spur-on genius, like the people who are cleaning up the ocean, even though we need a lot more of that and we need to stop polluting the ocean. There's people proactive. You can't wait for the government to fix it, because they're never going to agree. It's too much of, there's too much money of the old way at stake, and it's just kind
Joan, I have some questions here for you. You see, everyone's interested in Joan Carra. Okay, first question is, did you feel 9/11 coming? And second,
actually yes, and I called people.
You did?
First of all, this is the early part of the internet, and I was just like an AOL person. I didn't even know you could go around the block and see the whole world. So I got, I wish I was still in contact with her. A woman from Ohio had a vision. She said, 2 planes are going to be in these tall buildings. They're crazy. She was very upset. I dreamt. Now, I lived in Greenwich Village for a long time, but I was now in Queens. I dreamt that I saw a plane come and actually bomb in lower Manhattan, and I cried out, "Oh, my beloved city." They bombed my beloved city. Now, it wasn't a bomb. I called up a few psychics, and I said, "I am so shaken by this dream. Do you think anything's going to happen in New York?" And you know what they said? Well, I'm sure, not in our lifetime, but I'm sure New York City will be bombed one day. But I said, I'm shaking. And then sure enough, it was 9/11, but I didn't have the information of a plane going in. I saw the plane drop the bomb on lower Manhattan. But,
well, what are you going to do with that information anyway? You know, it's like you can't really do anything. You can't call anybody. They'll say you're a crackpot and lady, go away.
And also, you don't have specifics. I did meet a psychic in California, and she was an older woman. She had a specific thing about, this is before 9/11, when they had the other people, down near the towers. She had a very specific dream, detailed face of a man on a plane carrying a bomb. She called up the FBI and she said, "Look, I'm certified. There's a university that has certified me as a psychic. They know my name is out there." They found that man, the description. They opened up his case. This is before we had all the stricter ways of getting on a plane. And they thanked her, and they said they knew you could fly any place in the country, we'll pay. And even though she was going to go from California to the east to see her grandchildren, she didn't want it. She said, "No, I don't do this but I'm glad you got the guy." She was very specific, and she knew that it was a vision. Yeah, my mom used to have prophetic dreams of who would die, and I've met people like that. That's a horrible thing to have because you can't do anything. You can't warn them, and oh my God. You go to the funeral twice.
Joan, here's a question from Elder Reacts. What makes now such a significant time for exposure from the government? And they're talking about, I believe, the UAPs, UFOs.
That's a good question. We've been I was in the movement for years. I think that's a good, I also say timing. Timing is just, things for years are hidden and suppressed, and all of a sudden it's timing. Maybe because we had access to more of the videos, and also some of these, the astronauts for years have been talking about what they've seen. I actually had, when I was in the UFO movement, a copy of an Air Force manual when they instruct these guys, the pilots, and it showed, a diagram of what to do if you see a UFO, something you can't identify. It's a good question. I think it's timing. Timing is something so crazy. You could bang your head for years about something, and all of a sudden the universe aligns and things. And I think also, maybe, I don't know what to say. That's a good question. What do you think, Mary?
Well, I just think it's about timing, and now we're getting more of these whistleblowers that are sharing secrets, and it seems like everything's in upheaval right now, and there's chaos. So why not why not share that there's UFOs? Maybe they are preparing us for things they know are coming. Yeah, I've considered that as well, that they're preparing, and maybe there's something that we honestly have no clue about, and they are preparing they're like little, tidbits here and there about it. Now, okay, since you are ufologist, basically, it seems like, Joan, which I'm so glad to hear that. I'm excited to hear that.
Oh my God, And I'm in two books from a guy who is a ufologist, and they talk about, no, actually, three books. I used to perform my UFO poems at these UFO art, music and art festivals in New York, and I hosted them. So I'm mentioned as a psychic and a UFOologist. They called me in UFO magazine the UFO poet laureate. And you know, it's funny. I was pushing that career first, the songwriting, but the psychic thing took over, and I was on this TV show, Strange Universe, with two different names and two different hairdos, because my hair could go very curly.
Right.
1 week I'm the UFO poet laureate, and then the next week I'm a psychic, meaning the Millennium Psychic, where I'm talking about, you know, whatever the predictions. And I had two different names, so it was within 10 days. It was something. But the UFO thing was very exciting. I'm also I had good experience because I had them through dreams. My famous one is through a dream. I had these very tall Nordic-looking people, like.
Okay. So you know what? I'm going on about aliens later and talk about Starseeds DNA. Do you know anything about that? Because I'm going to tell you about the Nordic aliens right now.
Oh, I would love to hear about it. I don't know much about the Starseed. You know.
Okay. Well, the tall white. Are you talking about the tall? There's what's called the Nordic aliens, and they're from.
Yeah.
Okay,
so yeah, I used to work in radio, and they taught me the control booth of a spacecraft, and it was a happy dream. And then I wrote about it, and it was a lot of fun because they showed me this diagram, which I.
In the dream, the aliens visited you? Wait. In the dream, the aliens visited you?
Oh yeah, I used to always get them in dreams, but they what's the word I'm looking for? They show me it's a cylinder of how they do time travel. I'm also, at the time when I was in the UFO group, my friend who was studying he was a former actor studying to be a minister, and I used to channel his ET beams. And it's Reverend Michael Carter, who's now on Ancient Aliens. I predicted he was going to be on TV. And, and he was just in school. I got this idea from a book, and we're still friends. We talk periodically, and yeah. So
Do they? Okay, so let me show you some photos. Do they look like this?
Yeah.
Is that what they look like?
I don't see the. Well, they had those. What about? They didn't have gray skin. They look like.
What did they have? Did they look like this?
Kind of. They look like normal people from the Scandinavia area.
Right.
But very tall.
Right, Nordic aliens,
You know,
right?
flesh tone.
So 6 to 7 feet tall, long blonde hair,
No,
blue
7
eyes.
to 8 feet. No, 6 feet. 6 feet short. 7 feet.
6
8
to 7 feet. Oh, so they were 8 feet tall?
No, they were 7 feet. You know, you showed 6 feet. 6 feet isn't. That's normal here. Way over 6 feet. Like more towards 7 feet and over.
So what did they say? Oh, here's somebody asking a question. Oh, so what did they? So did they communicate with you like telepathically, or was it
telepathic? But maybe they spoke. But you know, in the dream, it's okay because it's like in that kind of interdimensional reality. You know, you could talk through the. You know, they'll know how to talk with either telepathy. I'm sorry.
What did they tell you? Did they give you any like?
No, they just showed me I'm just trying to see with the book because you wouldn't be able to see the diagrams. Another time I'll send you the.
You have to show it to me. You have to.
Yeah. No, but
I'm dying.
I think you'll see it. It's something where because I worked in radio and I was a board operator and I also studied engineering. I studied that in the 70s, so the dream was in the 90s.
So the Nordic aliens are also called the Palladians.
Yeah, but I don't label it, you know, because I have people. Well, the plan is interesting because you know. You know what's interesting?
What?
My friend and I just got the invite. I saw a preview, a reading of they're making a play. Maybe they can get it to Broadway, but it's happening. And because of COVID, it stopped. But I was there before COVID, and now I got the invite for they're gonna resurrect
Barney and Betty Hill, the alien abduction couple. They're doing a play on Broadway?
Yeah, and I saw them do they have Richard Pryor's son and Shirley MacLaine's daughter.
Right.
Are the two actors in it?
Oh my God.
And I met them about 2 days ago, and I met Betty. And I went to New Hampshire to a UFO thing, before she died, little lady, and she was cool.
Okay, so let me just, I don't know if everyone knows who Betty and Barney Hill, they were on their way home from to New Hampshire on their postponed honeymoon. I think it was in the late, I don't have it right in front of me.
Early 60s, maybe? Early 60s or late 50s?
I might have it right here, because I write down everything. And they had an alien abduction. And let me see if I have it right here. No. I thought I wrote it somewhere, but I know I have it. But anyway, they were abducted by aliens, and then they were convinced it was true. And I think she was a social worker, and
Yeah.
he was, I'm trying to think of his job, but they were just normal people.
Yeah.
And so they're going to do a play on Broadway. Okay, let's get back to your the dream that you had with the Nordic aliens. So tell me about what happened.
Well, then the next day I wrote, let me see where that poem, I wonder if I can play it. If you give me, if I do the phone, it's on my phone, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so, Joan. Wow, that would be futuristic technology right now, unless we did unless you called yourself back, so we did a three-way with your poem and you.
Square with the technology, but but it was fascinating because I was with such colorful people.
Really?
We're all older now, but oh my God, the group, it was amazing. Very talented people. Some people, though, had scary things, even the ones with the lizards and the praying mantis.
The reptilian? Are you talking about the reptilian aliens?
Yeah, I didn't have that, but other people did.
Reptilian aliens.
Huh?
Can you see that? Reptilian aliens? Like that?
Oh, I never knew what they looked like. Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's hard.
And they're supposedly shapeshifters, and
Makes sense.
they are considered humanoids. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and there's a belief that there's this secret, government globalization, going to take over the world, reptilians. And sometimes they've cast, different celebrities or leaders as, are they reptilians? So that's the conspiracy behind
this
that.
one, I don't know. I'm not going to, because some events, how do you prove that? And then when people say they channeled it, I kind of am hesitant because I'm more of I don't go through a lot of crazy theories. And it's always the they are going to take over. But it's interesting because I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not true, but I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, look, it's very interesting that this information is coming out right now. It's almost like we're in a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
So let's see if there's anyone who would like to get a read, or if you can do any kind of, can you give read? If I...
Yeah, I'll do the numerology. That's like the easiest to.
So if someone wants to put in the chat a number, is that how you do it? What would the numerology mean? What would you need?
Month and day.
Their month and day of their birthday?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody out there right now, Joan, the psychic medium, will do some numerology, and she's very good at it. She's done it for me before. Okay, here we go. 3-3.
Oh, that's very creative. Now, numbers have a positive and a negative. Mm-hmm. There's nice things about the 3. I'm a March baby, so the 3 is creativity, communication, love, children, but they can also be a child. They can be very social. The negative would be someone who's a little immature, but they could be someone who's the musician or works parties, communications, very intense. Now, I'm going to add that to 2021, which is a universal 5. So that you're in an 11 year. Last year you started a new cycle. New things started to happen to you. And then this year is about, last year was me, myself, and I. This year is partnership and the group, even romance possibly. But it's about relationships, whether you get in one or you break up. Now, I know this sounds very general, but it gives you a little hint. Can they give me the year?
Can you give the year I Love the Beach? Someone else gave a date too, so I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Wait, hold on. I'm waiting. 1970. So it's 3/3/1970.
1970.
Yeah, 3/3/1970.
8, and 6 is an 11. All right, so that's kind of interesting. They're a double 11 this year. Everything is about relationships. They're also very sensitive energy. The 11 is you need to learn the qualities of the 2. The 11, the 2. It's very visionary. I wonder if this person works in the arts because they got a very visionary energy, very idealistic love. Sometimes they can't make up their mind, but it's to be the peacemaker. Now, they don't have to work in the arts, but it's a pull, and even a crowd or an audience. But if they're not doing that, they need the communications or the communication department. But it's very people-oriented between the 11 and the double 3, and they're in an 11 personal year. Wow. So if you can't make up your mind this year, don't. I always tell people, if you don't have that decision and you're wavering, it's not time to decide.
Right.
All right?
I agree.
So, yeah, because all of a sudden when that decision is made, boom, 1, 2, 3, it's easy. So, but it's a very sensitive year. They may be doing a lot of work with a partner.
A lot of what? I missed that. A lot of what? Hello? A lot of what, Joan? What'd you say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, you got frozen for a minute. No, I said you said a lot of what this year? They should be doing a lot of what this year?
Oh, creative expression, sorry, working with a partner.
Working with a partner. Oh, here's
You
some.
have to be work with it.
Okay,
With partners.
so we have another person who we have an elder reacts asks if you're okay with doing another one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so the next one is 529.
And I didn't hear you frozen.
529. 529.
5, 9?
529.
5, 9, 1.
529.
Okay. Now the 5 is an interesting number. Each number is interesting. I think all of the elements are great. So the 5 is the risk taker. They don't like to be bored. Monotony is not their key. You can't put them in a room locked up and just sit still and plug in a number. They have to multitask a lot of different creative and intellectual stimuli. On the negative, and they are a people person, on the negative, maybe someone, you're doing football right now, and now you're switching to tennis, or you keep switching around because you want to try many different things. They like to travel. The 29 is, again, the number 11, that idealistic about love. They're romantic. And this year, let me just see something, 1 and a 2. They're in the 3 year. This is a good time to promote yourself, go dancing. It's an emotional year, but try to have fun. And if you I'm sorry. I have
Drink water. Drink water.
I think it's more than that. Yeah, but water's always the best. Promoting yourself, publishing. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And expand. Because next year you're going to do a lot of practical work and discipline is what's important next year. We could do something else. Maybe we can do,
What can we do?
let's see, 2021. You know, it's funny about I do want to just touch base on the numbers with COVID. It was very interesting.
Oh, tell us.
We were in the number 4 year. It's also called in some, I know my teacher So, and being restricted in the budget. So universally, that was a universally, everybody had that 2020 2 plus 2. Everybody kept calling it 23. It was a 4-year. So they were wrong. It was a 4-year, and it matched what the 4 was. It's discipline. It needed to be disciplined. And this year, universal year is 5, which is expansion. Take a risk. Go out and meet your friends. And change. A lot of changes. So I find that the COVID was right with the universal energy of the numerology matched what was going on with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Too many of these things, the universal energy, family. We're going to take care of our family, and who knows? I know that we live in the East Coast. We're around New York, and
Losing you a bit. Losing you.
We're crazy. Florida too. The real estate is crazy. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of places
I'm losing her.
Everybody's moving around in America, and home and family. They're talking about even can we have what is called a preschool, have more to it and things like that. So we'll see.
Joan, I'm losing you. Like it's getting worse right now. It's getting foggy. So I don't know what's going on. Now you're frozen for a minute. Am I frozen? Wah, want to hear more.
I think this is balancing streaming. It's like in the air, streaming in the air.
I don't know. You know what? It's been the whole day like this. Everything seems to kind of just been breaking. So I don't know. It's just something's going on.
Breaking.
Everything's breaking for me, Joan.
Well, this doesn't usually happen.
No, this never happens.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, no, it's change. I sense whenever things go wrong, I sense that means change is coming. See, look at you.
Yeah. It's change, yeah.
Change is coming. At least you can hear me. What?
I like that change. Well, you're in the fear is about change. You're right. So the 5 represents change and freedom. So change is coming, yeah, and we'll see what happens. It's all good things, and it's a matter of we're always evolving. Well, I always feel like we're evolving and de-evolving. Like things get better, and then other things get really bad. They're like, things that happen. I don't know. I just hope the world, with all these shootings, I don't know what I'm missing.
Joan, I'm gonna call you on a regular line and see if it works because I wanted to ask you about drawing a card. I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna try her on regular. See if that works. If I could do that, FaceTime. FaceTime with Joan Carra. Answer your phone, Joan. Yeah, I love her too.
I think you meant the landline because I took the ring off.
Oh, there you are. So much clearer. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you too.
Yeah, so they're so much clearer. Okay, Joan, do you do cards? I'm trying to remember. I know we met.
I do the 9 to the 8. Half a deck. Someone told me it's a pinnacle deck. That's how my aunt read, just from the 9 to the 8. I don't do the tarot. Oh yeah, this is much better.
Much better. So let's maybe. Do you have cards? If we want to pull a card, if someone wants to actually.
All right, hold on. I have to go get him.
Okay. Anna, is it blurry right now, or is it working?
Wait, I have.
Because it says it's slow frames, 26 slow frames.
What?
Usually it's 0 slow frames.
Fine.
What? It's fine? Well, that's good.
All right. Who wants to have a little reading?
Okay, who there wants a reading? Any viewers out there want a reading? Just put it in the.
I want to see if
in the box.
Glasses is a good effect.
Let's see. Anybody who's here today is KD Floyd, Synthetic Desire, Master of Slave. I put my followers right here on the, right here. They're right here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here you go. I love the beach. Me. She says, me. I love the beach. She's interested in a card read.
All right, I'm going to see what happens here. Hold on.
You're awesome, Joan. Isn't she awesome?
Oh, thank you.
I love Joan.
Well, I get some... Aw, is there a baby coming? It doesn't have to be hers, but a whole bunch of ladies that got this energy, some new, very new energy, happy news, and I don't know if she's working with some women, getting more money. There's an opportunity for something new, and I see my little jack of club, me, is infinite energy, whether it's in business or project or an actual baby. Anything like that?
I'm not. It's in the chat, so you're just like saying they're listening. That's all.
Oh, okay, all right. There's more money coming in, and it's with the goddess and studying.
No, she said no. She said there's no.
But these
No baby.
There's a beautiful energy with these women and making money and studying. There may be a conflict.
Making money is a good thing.
Yeah, more. And there may be a conflict with a father and a child. It looks like someone's having a hard time at work, gentlemen. I don't know if she's...
The gentleman's having a hard time at work. I love the beach.
Yeah. Let's see.
I love when you give reads. Because when you've given me a read, it's like goes on, and you were like 100% accurate. I said, oh my God, she's amazing at this.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for this client if it wasn't on the ball. You know, I did it fast and we having this screaming problem.
No. It's like, but you know what though, when you say so a baby's coming, a lot of times people don't know if that's true or not,
they
right?
may not know, yeah. They may not even know. I didn't say it was her baby.
Right.
It could be, a friend's daughter or something.
Right.
But there's women were getting together and there was money and celebration.
Oh, so do you see it when you pull a card? Do you see it? Do you see information? Is that it?
Yeah, but my cards, as a famous tarot reader told me, look, my cards have very little information. There's no photo. There's no picture.
I always think tarot cards is a prop anyway.
Yeah, and I tell a lot of young tarot readers, there's nothing wrong with doing tarot, but I said, please, I've had tarot readers just tell me what the picture looked like. I said, that's not a reading. I could see what the picture is. You have to go into the symbolism and what it means. But some of them didn't do it. I do encourage people, look away from the cards. You know, when I see a young reader doing the tarot, I said, all right, look away. Now give me first impressions. Because when I teach psychic development, it's like... Wait,
psychic development. That's right, you teach that. In fact,
I had it for a while.
Okay, tell us something to make us more psychic. How can we become more psychic people? Because we all need to with this, everything that's happening.
The free association game that we did as kids, I could be at a psychic fair, and at the next table, I overhear the word car, and all of a sudden, I get a free associate and get something for my client. How to be more, well, everyone says meditate, but I just had a question about someone who says, I tried meditation for years, or I said, well, walking could be a meditation or something else, but quieting down and listening, that's really the key. You got to listen to, I call it inner squinting, like I have to like squint to hear, but it's in my head. And following the gut, like today, oh God, I couldn't believe it. Really important emails went to my spam, and I don't check it too often, but I heard, check your spam, and I was surprised. I said, oh my God. They sent me one email, I corresponded, but then these other two emails from the person were in spam. And I said, I wouldn't have even known that. I had to notarize something, and I didn't initial something. So I'm like, but it went to spam. That's crazy. So I guess it is a crazy day with the street.
It is crazy. I think there's a lot of change coming. There's a lot of awakening. You know, it's funny because with last week seemed to kind of turn. Everything for doing this stream seemed to turn because I have more people that are contacting me, more interest, and it's like validation, which it was like time I needed the validation. So I don't think of when things go wrong, I don't think, oh my gosh, that's terrible. I think, oh my gosh, something good's about to happen. So that's how I think. Okay, so maybe one more person wants to try the card, and
All right.
anybody else out there want to try a card?
No, I don't pick one card for the person. I do a spread.
Oh, Kwa47, who's one of my followers. Kwa47NL would like you to pull a card for them.
All right. I'm hearing the word training. I see there's a little frustration with a couple. I don't know if there's arguments or a rocky relationship. Oh boy, it goes up and down, but that's not bad. But training, they need more training. It could be school issues or going back to school or on the job training. Any of that resonates?
Any of that accurate, Kwa? You need some training, going back to the job?
No, or school.
School. I didn't get a response yet. I'm sure the response will come through. It takes time to get.
Yeah,
not that I know of. Not that I know.
You have a rocky relationship with somebody.
How about a rocky relationship? That's so terrible. So, too old for school.
No one's too old. Training doesn't have to be school. School could be even taking a hobby that you're learning something new. You're never too old to learn. And I got an emotional ups and downs.
Emotional ups and downs, Kwa? Kwa, are you okay? I don't know if the cards are ringing true today. Maybe it's...
Yeah, I think with the streaming, they're all over the place. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
No, the numbers are better.
No, you know what? No, I heard... Yeah, okay, I know what she means.
Okay.
They said they know what you mean.
All right, and maybe the person they're involved with needs more training.
Right.
Even if it's emotional training, there's something where you can't keep doing what you're doing with that person. You got to make it better.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna validate you for a minute for people to understand that when you do anything like this, sometimes you get the other person's information. Like I've had a psychic come on and they are trying to do a read on somebody in the chat, and they actually they were doing a read on me, and I think it was somebody else in the chat.
Yeah, that's
because
possible.
it was very, very specific, and I'm like, and I'm trying to figure it out. But I know that that could be part of it too. It could be that there's.
Yeah, I think because this is so it's fuzzy with so many different energies.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of different energies, and
one time I had a wild thing as a medium. I'm discussing somebody who his father had a limp, and that the guy, the son, wanted to start a new business, and the father said that's good. Now the girl who was the monitor, this was the new Life Expo in Florida, she was the monitor, tell me heads up, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. She said, oh my God, that's my boyfriend, and he's a monitor in the next room. She came, no, he had the limp, not the father. She went to get him, he walks in, and he's limping, and everybody was stunned. And then I had to give him the message for the father about, yes, you can start the new business. It will be good.
Okay, well, he did, or whoever, Kwa, I don't know if it's male or female, or, I don't know who, but this individual said, I am trying to learn something new, not related to school or work, still learning something new I never did before. So maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, well, that's what yeah. But, could be, I'm looking at YouTubes, I want to do flower arrangements, whatever it is. But it's something where that's a very good, it's good. It's a different kind of skill. Yeah.
Right. Well, cool. So do you want, I've already taken up an hour of your time because I know we went off and on. Is there anything that you'd like to share with anyone about, I know what I wanted to ask you. Do you ever, you're gone. Oh, there you are. Before you go, I wanted to ask you, do you ever do anything, I know you've taught classes at Edgar Cayce Center.
Yeah, all over I've taught. Yeah, I haven't for a while because of, I'm thinking next year I'll be in the 7 year, which is about teaching and studying. Mm-hmm. This year I was enjoying not teaching, and I didn't want to deal with Zoom and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I just felt I want to be passive and be a student.
Right.
And so so I said, I had people nag me, oh, teachers. I said, I'm going to probably go back to it next year, but I'm enjoying this other energy, and I want to take advantage of it. And I didn't want to deal with. Well, I did a group seance in my house.
I was about to ask you. You know what? Was what the question I was going to ask you. Do you do seances, and can you tell us an experience of? Because
I did one. Believe it or not, and I was shocked because I did one on Zoom for a spiritualist church in the United Kingdom.
What is that?
The UK, England.
Wait a second. Was that? What was the group?
It's the guy. I can't remember my friend's name. I have to remember because
Is it a woman? Is it a woman?
No.
Oh.
It was the spiritualist church, and he was the minister.
Oh, okay. Because there was somebody.
In New York.
That would have been a weird coincidence.
And then what was wild was
Mm-hmm.
I saw the lady feed. And I don't know England has. I'm thinking they're in London. I don't know where they are. I saw the family of foxes was thanking the lady, and she said, "Oh, they're in my backyard, and I feed them all, and it's a family with the little kids." And I was just so touched that the foxes came through, and we had the Zoom with the little boxes of everybody, and that was great. I was able to read everyone. They invited me to go to England and stuff.
Nice.
So the Zoom things is pretty amazing. And I just did the group of my house. I'm gonna get back to doing.
What's it like? What's it like to do an in-person seance? I've never experienced a seance. I've seen them. They're historically in movies and literature.
Oh, yeah,
Tell us.
We don't do it like I call it a seance. Some people got mad at me and said, "Don't call it a seance." People think of the old-fashioned thing. It's more of
what is it?
I like to do the small group so everybody gets read. And it's a small group, and I'm just trying to think of who was I talking about? Yes, Sunday. You'll describe the person that who they want, and I just did one of all places. A library invited me to do.
Really?
That's pretty mainstream. The library, yes.
It must be an event. They like, I know.
No, I was just as one of the speakers they were having, and it was, first we were going to do Zoom, but then we just did it, it was 2 weeks ago, so we did it with the masks. And, some people have stronger personalities than others, so you have to be aware of that. You get how they pass, they may be known for being a chocoholic, that they eat chocolate every day, they have to. And
so you say that to people? Do you tell people? You say everything, don't you? It's kind of scary. I'm like, don't reveal.
Yeah, in spirit, you're eating now. Oh, no, sometimes you can't reveal. I've had usually young people who OD'd sometimes are very difficult, and I will bring the client to, not with the public, I'll read you on the side privately. They're not always eager to be in front of the group, but not all, but some.
Do you right now get any, can you tell right now if I have anyone around me, a spirit around me?
A check. I'm a little spacey because this cough and this allergy. You're kidding me? Oh, I know. I put the plant inside. All right, let me think. I noticed it's something, I keep seeing crocheting or knitting. I know a lot of grannies used to do, but does that ring a bell to anyone? Or anybody who wanted to make a quilt?
Well, it's funny that you're saying that, because not that I know, I had someone else tell me that there was a female that was around me, and I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but I didn't know whether or not she did that. She could have done that and then got back into it.
Yeah. Well, we want to make it so we can confirm.
Okay, so no. I'm going to say no to that.
All right.
Just because I don't know.
Yeah, and I could be picking maybe someone in the one is like today. She was like, I'm not.
Okay, so I'm going to go like this so that we're not headed at the chat and see.
Yeah. All right. And there's somebody on the side. They have an operation. I keep hearing like could be gallbladder or it's kidney stones. That's not an operation, but anybody with this area elimination seems to be a problem, like kidneys or gallbladder, anything like that.
Are you saying someone who passed or someone who's alive?
Well, they could be alive because we do. Do you have anyone like that?
There's somebody who had. Are you talking about stomach issues? Yes.
But more like they hold on to the toxin. It's a little different than stomach issues. All right, so I keep seeing. Ask anyone if somebody is experiencing kidney stones, because I'm getting things are hard like a rock.
Kidney stones, anyone? Maybe kidney stones. I mean, like I said, like you might be getting other people's energy because
I think because the reception thing is really off today, and I'm having allergies.
I know when you get information, it's very, because I understand, because when something comes through, there's a reason why it's coming through. It's not just random, so I get it.
And it also could be, I don't want anyone to have a kidney stone, but someone is holding on to like toxic memories, painful things and resentment, and to let it go.
Let it go.
Because it's hardening your heart and hardening these other things in your body.
Yeah.
Or the spirit has it. Very playful man around you. Like he's like a leprechaun in a weird way. Not a real one, but he's a playful spirit.
Really?
Maybe you had a granddaddy who was very playful or fun. Or a husband, just somebody we need to just enjoy the fun. That's what's important for you now. I think you had a lot of stress.
I did. Me? You're talking about me? Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I do this, is because I had to learn how to let go of everything, and so I'm at the other end, and so that's why I'm doing this, is so that I can share with people how to kind of let go. Yes.
Yeah, it's important because they're, oh my God, they're causing havoc. And what I just did last night, which was interesting, I have bad insomnia, and I kept repeating. I heard this in my mind. Instead of dwelling on these stupid problems of the past, I just heard, I am healed. And I repeated that, and I had a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
I am healed.
That works. You're amazing, Joan. I'm so grateful that you came on today.
Oh, and I'm very, very sorry that it wasn't the way we wanted it to be.
No, everything works the way it's supposed to. This was beautiful. I'm happy with everything, and
we're into the UFO. I'll send you the CD.
Send me the CD.
What it's called, email or something.
And I'll send you some videos. I'll send you some video clips. So Joan can be found at psychicjoancarra.net, and her social media is, I'm trying to think, it's Joan Carra, your personal profile, and then what is your Instagram? No, your Facebook page.
Psychic Joan Carra, CARRA. I always forget to do Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I don't do Twitter, and I'm not going to do Twitter. I had a problem with Twitter, and they never fixed it. And it's at this point where you do so much of the social media, and everybody has an opinion, on Twitter. I'm like.
So, Joan, we have a couple comments. We have, thank you both indeed. Very interesting. KY said, and then Elder React said, awesome show, guys. And I Love the Beach says, thank you. And I'm going to continue with the show beyond after Joan leaves. I just wanted to. So, Joan, I want to. Is there anything that you want to say before you go about work that you have that's upcoming that anyone...
I don't have anything upcoming right now. I'll probably do another group seance, but it's the summer, so I'm hesitant about maybe I have to wait till September, or eventually I'll do all these, on Zoom and make it international. But right now, I don't know. I want to enjoy the summer, maybe take some trips, and we're opening up, so... I would say that, and everyone from all over, I believe. So I would say let's just all be mindful, respectful. Everyone's had a hard time and want to make it easy.
Right.
Random acts of kindness, because too much the news. We gotta love each other, not kill each other. And I'm sure the people in are all loving. but I don't understand. Just put some prayers out. Healing for planet Earth. We don't want
Yes, healing for planet Earth. And we love you, Joan, and we're so grateful that you joined us. And you can reach Joan, which I'm going to put in the chat box, psychicjoancarra.net, and I'll put down her social media, and you can find her there. And so thank you, Joan, and we'll stay in touch. And we're going to go see Shakespeare in the Park, right?
Shakespeare in the Park with your daughter, who's an actress. She got invited in a famous acting school, Marion Kent.
I know she did. Thank you. I love you. So just send me the date. Send me the date, sweetie pie.
All right. How do I hang up?
I just hang up. Bye. Okay, she's amazing, and we love her. And I'm just going to put her site in here so everyone, and then we're going to go on to some other topics. Of course, we're going to talk about starseeds and humanoids and the UAP report, and also higher consciousness and a visualization. But I'm really grateful that everyone joined in, and she's a really great lady, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so moving on. So let's talk about what starseeds are, and then I'm going to do a visualization, and maybe we can relax. And I just wanted to put in what her. She has a page on Facebook. I know that a lot of people are on Facebook, right? Just so you guys know, her Facebook page. That was fun. She's a lot of fun. I like hearing about that detective work she does as a psychic. It's just coming up, Joan Carra. So just look under Joan Carra, and you should be able to find her Facebook. She has 2 profiles. Okay, so starseeds. Now, what are starseeds? I'm finding all out about this because I had a guest on the other day, if you want to watch the show, with Jilly Clark, and she talked about the Great Awakening, and I was trying to figure out what is this, because she talked about ascension, and I've heard this from some of my other friends, and she talked about being a Palladian, and so I wanted to find out myself so there are different types of starseeds, and there's 12 different types of starseeds, and there's also what's called light codes. I'm going to show you all of this, and I can take you down this rabbit hole, and if you want to tune back in, I am going to be talking in a little bit about the UFO report, and I'm going to be doing a visualization. I'm going to talk about higher consciousness, but right now we're on the subject of starseeds, which I'm going to put in the box so everyone knows what we're talking about. If you want to ask a question. Okay, so starseeds. So there's 12 different types, and I'm going to tell you what is a starseed. First of all, starseeds are a person who's spiritually aware, and starseeds have a strong connection to the divine creator. Starseeds are said to be an old soul sent back to Earth to transform the world into heaven on Earth. And I'm finding out about this because I'm learning about aliens, and it's a big topic now because of the UAPs that have been released, the videos and from the pilots, and the UAPs are transmedium because they're traveling in the air and coming out of the water. Is there a civilization? And what's interesting is I'm finding that these starseeds are actually some type of humanoid alien. So starseeds are said to be an old soul sent back to Earth to transform the world into heaven on Earth. So starseeds have spiritual gifts of clairvoyance, clairaudience, or clairsustenance, and they're capable of telepathy, and they're able to sense others' emotions and forecast future events. Multi-dimensional beings of light. It kind of sounds like a psychic or a empath, the fact that they can sense other people's emotions. So there's 12 of them, and I have some of them, and if you and I can list some of the characteristics, and you can decide whether or not you feel like you are. Now, starseeds tend to be people that have actually delved into a higher consciousness, a higher vibration, which is what? That is love, 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 and having compassion and kindness for others. And it's interesting, like the friends that have risen around me tend to be these types of individuals. So here I'll name a few. Syrians, Arcadians, Andromedans, and I told you I butcher words because I just do it. Orion, Palladians, Hadrians, Alpha Centaurians, and I know you've probably heard some of these names because they've been prevalent in sci-fis, literature, movies. Anunnaki, Reptilian, Lyrian, Venus, Vicenian, Martian, and Polarian. Now, I have like some of the characteristics here, but I'm going to just tell you, let's see. So according to channelers, starseeds are advanced spiritual beings from other planets and realms who possess spiritual and scientific knowledge that date back hundreds of thousands of years. It seems that while most starseeds are benevolent beings who seek to help all living beings throughout all the realms and universes, some starseeds seek to control interplanetary resources for the benefit of their home planets. Most agree that starseeds are traveling souls from other planets who are incarnated on Earth to inspire and heal human beings and to participate in the planet's evolution. What that means is, what I'm understanding is that there's humans who are claiming and saying that they actually have DNA, their original DNA makes them one of these beings. And they are connecting with these beings in their third eye. They're having dreams about these beings. It's like you ascend to a higher consciousness. Starseeds are physical descendants of aliens from other worlds who travel to Earth to be our planet's light workers. And also they're saying that starseeds believe that they're from the future. Starseeds might also have been birthed through inner consciousness, conception, virgin births, akin to the stories about Jesus. Another possibility is that any soul can become a starseed when another starseed infuses the soul with intentional light. This can occur when souls are in utero or in any other point in their lives. And so they have what's called a language of lights. And so that's what this is here. Like there's some kind of language. Now, online, there's a paper called The Enchanted Living. The first time I ever heard or saw light language, I was led to it by following a post about dolphins. I'm going to show you. It had an insightful quotation from Jane Prince, and I wanted to see who this wise person was. Before too long, I was watching a video of a blonde woman standing amid red rocks in Arizona, her hands flowing and flashing with signs, uttering phrases. In some angelic language, that sounded like gold. If gold were a sound, I stopped everyone else I was doing and stared at the screen, and my body began to respond to this dance of the sound and urgent gesture, rivers of energy that I felt inside. So I found online that there was 3 different, there's 3 different words I came up with that were a language. Myrrh, which means spinning field of light. Ka, I don't know if this is having any effect on you. So myrrh is a word. Ka is our spirit essence. And Ba, B-A-H, means physical aspect of body. Now, I've seen through Instagram that there's a few women that are singing some other kind of language. And I'm wondering now if that is this light language. Light language is a form of communication from higher dimensional realms. Light language connects with the soul rather than the logical mind. It distributes energy to convey messages that are interpreted by the heart and the soul rather than the programmed mind. Interesting, right? Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you if you're interested. So this is interesting. We're in a battle for the light and for truth. I wanted to give you some idea. Oh, then there's this other thing I heard. So I've heard some different terms, and I'm finding out. Like when I started learning about Bigfoot, I didn't know anything. I brought a guest on another show that I was doing, and I learned all about Bigfoot. And then I researched, just like with aliens, you know, the different, like MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, which is the world's largest and oldest civilian investigation and research organization, established in 1969. According to them, there's 9 species of aliens. Now, the University of Nottingham study suggests 36 different types. Average distance, 17,000 light years away. Interesting. And then I went on to learn about Greys and Nordics and alien abduction and, you know, Area 51 and Roswell, etc., etc. So it's the same with this. So if you bear with me, probably in a few weeks, then I'll have more information. But right now, the terminology I'm learning is starseeds, DNA, matrix. So the matrix is, you know, we think of the Matrix, the movie, but what it looks like is a grid. So I think it looks, I don't know if you can tell in this photo, it looks kind of gritty. So it's basically, I know, different energies connecting to you. And just like there's also like light codes, light language, there's ascension, there is sovereign. I heard this term sovereign. I keep hearing that. So starseeds wear the badge. Starseeds wear the badge of sovereignty. They have walked the same journey on many other worlds destined to arise in the consciousness and frequency. And they believe in a joyous living of life. Okay, so I'll give you a few characteristics, and maybe you fall under some of them. And I'm not going to do all of them. You know, this is about the 12 starseed types, because I know that, you know, I don't want to lose my audience here, but I find it very interesting. So here's some signs that you may be a starseed, and then I will share with you the different types. Hold on one sec. It's kind of exciting, right? I'm excited. Are you excited? Okay. So this is like a typical starseed. So here's some signs. You know, like the other day I talked about dreams, and I said, oh, I'll give you a few dream themes, our sleeping dreams. And then I said there's 55 here, and then I went on to read all 55 because I found it interesting. Just like this, I get kind of taken away. And then I get distracted and don't read the chat. But I'm here, because I love to be here. And I'm sending you love and light, and I'm wishing the best for you. And I'm hoping that you can find the beautiful glowing light in your heart. Okay, so 50 signs that you may be a starseed. Okay, so here we go. Highly sensitive. You easily feel overwhelmed and drained when you are in a place with many people and the intense stimuli, like shopping malls, clubs. You are sensitive to scary and violent movies and video games. I'm not even going to say numbers, but maybe 2. You have always felt like you don't belong. It's like every one of these, it's a check for me. Don't belong. You find it difficult to fit into groups of people, and you often felt lonely in school and at work. You probably have a few close friends that you vibe with and can be yourself. Many people are drawn to your light, but you are very picky about who you spend time with. Or private, you could say. 3, you find society hostile. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't. You feel sad about how you are damaging the planet, poverty, the debt-based economy, greedy leaders. 4, you are intelligent, which we all hope we are, right? Everyone's intelligent. Starseeds are usually smarter than the average. However, this doesn't always translate into good grades in school. In fact, many starseeds do not simply enjoy school. 5, You are going through or have gone through a spiritual awakening. Ta-da! Here we are on Signs of Light. Have you gone through your spiritual awakening yet? Okay, you are into holistic health. I'm not going to read all of these because I want to get on to the personality traits. This is political. You are into holistic health. You don't trust big pharma and only resort to Western medicine when you have to. You prefer to use herbs, sound healing, Reiki, acupuncture, and other natural options. Well, this came out maybe before COVID. You are highly intuitive and you usually make decisions based on your intuition rather than logic or common sense. And I'll read one more. You are good at reading between the lines. You can easily spot when people are lying. Hello? And see behind the mask people hide behind. Genuineness is therefore something you value highly. Okay, so there's a couple of them. Now I'm going to tell you I'm going to explain to you, read some of these. Now, I found, I've already discovered so many of these alien types myself. And then this article from, where was this from? Oh, I hate not to give the author, but anyway, we're just going to keep moving. Okay, so let's hold up. All right, this is actually a Chorian. So I'm going to read about what a Chorian. And am I saying it right? She's not listening. Okay, Achorians are a type of starseed from the star Achorius, a red giant located in the Bootes constellation, and are other dimensional advanced star beings that incarnate on Earth frequently. The star's beings are able to be contacted through channeling and deviation. So here's some traits. Great public speakers, leaders in their communities and workplace, highly passionate about technology, don't fear death, sometimes come off as arrogant or having a big ego, great at mathematics, and have interest in metaphysics, particularly sacred geometry. Oh, I got to touch on sacred geometry. I haven't talked about that. A couple more. Compassionate but seem guarded to their feelings, may show anger as their form of emotion when they are hurt or upset. Choose careers in fields of technology, architecture, invention, science, math, statistics, advancing medicine. Highly intelligent and motivated. Okay, that's one. Another one I'm going to talk about is the Palladians, because I think I identify with Palladians more. Palladians are a type of starseed from Pleiades star system and consists of 7 bright stars. So here are some, and they live in a multiple dimensional, and can incarnate on Earth from any of those dimensions. Here's some traits. Stay with me, folks, stay with me. So Palladians, gentle in nature, meek mannerisms, soft-spoken and polite, humanitarians, empathic, feel and take on others' energies, can transmute when they are in alignment. Often tall and slender with blonde hair. Well, I'm not tall, but blue eyes, may have Northern European ancestry DNA, all about love and want to spread love. Well, I do want to spread love. Drawn to outer space, science fiction, astrology, stars. Interested in healing and metaphysical. Family orientated. Okay. I don't have Drakian. Let's see what else I have pictures of, because I'll share pictures. I'm better off with pictures for you guys. How about if I do? Let's see. I think I have gray alien here, actually. I think gray's one of them, which I didn't know gray was considered a starseed, but I think maybe. If anyone has any comments, just share with me, because I'm listening. Oh, here's one, Anaki, and I have a picture for that. So this was like really ancient. These are ancient aliens. And okay, so you'll find all kinds of conspiracy theories about them. Some people believe the Anunnaki are demons, evil aliens that are controlling the masses. Here's what we believe about the Anunnaki. They're a branch off of the Sirian civilization and were part of the human creation in the beginning. Because of their part in the establishment of the earth, specifically in ancient Sumner, they are often thought to be Sumerian gods. Which I've had people talk about that. Nubru. Am I saying it right, Anna? She's so good at that. She's not even answering me anymore. And sources claim that they're the same as the gray aliens and the reptilians. Oh, really? They're the same as these? And the same as these? Okay, those are not known to be great aliens, but so it says they're drawn to ancient civilizations, specifically Sumner, Babylonian. Feel as if your soul is ancient, older than humanity. You have a strong need for ritual in your life, both mundane and spiritual. You're drawn to shows like Ancient Aliens, specifically when focused on Anunnaki. You have a longing to return to the skies, a large head, and particularly large almond-shaped eyes. Interesting, right? So the grays these are all considered in the same family? Interesting. Or same starseed? I'm so confused now. You favor the air element over the others. You're drawn to work about ancient Sumerian, Babylonian, Assyrian gods. You have ancestry from the Middle East, and you've had dreams of flying or able to astral project into space easily. The feeling of wings on your back, a tingling, heavy sensation between your shoulder blades. Well, I'm just like a really firm believer that everyone has goodness in their heart, and it's there. We just have to connect to it, and we are all born with a beautiful glowing light. Okay, any more? Let's see. Because I'd like to show pictures when I do this. I feel like that's, I don't know, more interesting. Okay, so no, here, gray. Gray's separate. I don't know why they said that. So here, gray starseeds. You've been misunderstood your whole life. You have a large head with a disproportionately smaller body. Oh no. You don't, that's not funny. I shouldn't laugh. That's terrible. You don't have much or any hair on your body, an intense interest in human genetics and DNA. Maybe you have even a career in this field. You have a lower body temperature, an interest or occupation in healing and or medicine. You have a photographic memory, extremely awakened spiritually. Dark brown, almost black eyes, an interest or fascination with dragons. You have problems showing your emotion to others and being vulnerable. You best work with well-organized team. Okay, now here's reptilian. So that's separate too. I guess that's like, I don't know, rumored to be with. Reptilian, lower body temperature. You find yourself being cold more than not. You crave warm weather and sun. You're drawn to reptiles and amphibians, lizards, turtles, snakes. You have visions and dreams of Ouroboros symbol, which I don't know what that is. Adept at fitting in like a chameleon. You're a natural leader and work well leading a team, organization, or government. You don't feel right being at the bottom of hierarchy. Inventing and creating new ways to accomplish old tasks is your thing, and you've been misunderstood your entire life. People tell you are cold and void of emotions. Okay. Let's see if I have any more to share with you. Syrian. I have Syrian. One more starseed, and I think I don't. This is the tall white aliens, but I don't have any information except they are between 8 and 10 feet tall, slender, white chalk, blue eyes. As children, later pink, and they look like a ghost angel, but I'm not reading that they're a starseed, but maybe they are. Who's to say? Syrian starseeds. So we've been fascinated with ancient Egypt, African tribes, and other people that have legends and connections with the star Sirius. It's the brightest star in the night sky, and it also is called Alpha, which I'm not going to even try to say this word. Okay, so here are some Syrian starseed traits. Drawn to a lost, oh, you can't see it because I'm turning it this way, sorry. Mary. Drawn to the lost civilization and ancient cultures, drawn to star system Sirius, have a love for canine dogs, wolves. Salt of the earth type people, spiritual individuals that also embrace the ways of earth. Even keeled, very hard to anger. Oh, these people sound nice. Aliens, don't express their emotions well, have a hard time with communication and relationships, may even be closed off, intense daydreamers, interest in magic, metaphysics, and alternative healing, love science fiction books and movies, and maintain a few close friends instead of many casual. Creative individual, love the arts, crafts, and writing. Feel they have a mission to save the planet and defend animal rights. Well, lovely. They're all lovely. And I appreciate everyone joining here today and learning all about starseeds. And like I said, there'll be more information. We just have to move on to the next topic. So let's see. Oh, and then this was some kind of code, which I'm going to figure out what that is. It's some kind of writing. I don't know. It's related to light language. So I'm learning about that. And the matrix, and I'm learning about sovereign means. But sovereign, I want to say, I heard means something. I've heard Palladians talk about sovereign, being sovereign, and it's about having your own free will and choice to make decisions, and that no one can force you. Like I always say, unless you're a 5-year-old child, you're entitled to make your own decisions, because when you're under a certain age, it's, someone else is actually guiding you, hopefully. Okay, so before we do a visualization, or no, maybe we will do that next. And then we're going to talk about emotions, positive and negative emotions. So let's do a visualization. So what's a visualization? It's about becoming enlightened and connecting to your light. And I always say, connect to a light source. You can do that by going and spending time in nature, by watching a sunrise, the very powerful sun, a sunset, and that's outside your being. And in the morning when I connect to a sunrise, it changes me. It's like it zaps me, and I realize how lucky I am to be here, and I'm living in the moment. Let's live in the moment. Let's really enjoy what we have right now. I mean, it's good to plan, but live in the moment and stretch out every minute. So you know how long a minute is if you stretch it out? If you stand there and you watch a minute, live in the moment. So a visualization reduces suffering, raises your vibration to a higher frequency. This is higher consciousness and higher vibration. You feel joy in your heart and inner peace and calmness, and it brings balance to your system. And harmony in your mind, body, spirit. The mind is the key to awakening your consciousness so you can develop a stronger sense of yourself. Like I talk about boundaries, right? Here's a boundary, right? So we say it's like a foot around you. That's your boundaries. No one can come into your personal space unless you ask them. So if someone's encroaching on your space, whether it be emotionally, physically, verbally, and you need room to breathe, where you need to just protect yourself, then you say, you're in my space, like you need to back off, and that's okay to do. And if you imagine this line around you, other people will sense it too. It's very surprising. So ask yourself, how do I feel at peace? Are you upset? Are you angry? Are you sad? Or are you happy and pure and whole and full of light? So let's do this visualization together. And then we're going to talk about feelings, positive and negative feelings like anger and hate and forgiveness and love. And I think when you acknowledge that, you bring attention to it, and then you learn more about yourself. So here we go to a visualization. Okay. We will create vivid mental images in our mind's eye, bringing positive emotions such as joy, happiness, and hope. Blessings. Our intention today is to have an open heart and mind. Your beach visualization begins now. I'd like you to find a quiet space, sit or lay down comfortably. I'd like you to close your eyes, and together let's inhale and exhale deeply 3 times. Now I'd like you to scan your body for tension from the top of your head, your crown chakra, to the tip of your toes. Now let's release any negative emotions or thoughts prior to this moment. Let them go, preventing us from personal happiness. If you need to speak them out, you may do that. Let it go. Just let go. Let go of any tension in your body. Now, I'd like you to imagine that you are in a bright, light pink bubble. Now this bubble of light protects you. And you can sense that this bubble of light is covering your whole body, from your head to your feet, and a few inches beyond that. And this glowing pink bubble, you feel safe, you feel warm, you feel protected. And you embrace this pink bubble. And you know that no one may harm you. The gentle bubble reaches beyond your body. Its power slowly diminishes old negative thoughts and energies and past mindsets, and they are released, and you let out a sigh. Now, you see that beyond this pink bubble, that you are on a white sandy beach with glistening waves. And you can see and sense the waves crashing up on the beach, the beautiful beach, and you feel safe and content in your pink bubble of light. Now, as you decide to rise from the beach to walk, the bubble, the pink bubble, the beautiful glowing pink bubble remains surrounding you and walks with you. And it touches your cells, your organs, your flesh, and your bones. And it fills positive light and energy in your being. You feel the chill of the water on your toes, and the warm bubble allows you to release any pain that you've experienced. And you release that pain, fear, anger, sadness, hurt, and you let go. Now thoughts recall the last person to injure your heart, and you remember the situation, the circumstances, and you're allowing yourself to release the memory. And as you release the memory, you feel lighter and more peaceful and serene. You pause. Now you give yourself a chance to forgive them, and in your mind, you send out a sign to them that you're forgiving them. And now you let go of all of this pain into the sea, and you breathe out all the pain, and you can speak the pain, whatever those words are for you. Now all this unnecessary hurt has left your system. It's gone. It's forever gone. And now you find that you have room in the bubble for more love. And your heart grows bigger, and the pink light bubble filling you up with hope, love, and happiness. You feel content, and the water accepts all that you have done today. The sea gives you new choices for your future relationships, career, and self. And new awareness of calm and peace come over you. And you stay in that moment to acknowledge and have consciousness to the forgiveness that you've given this individual, and how you have more happiness and light coming towards you. And I will count backwards to 3, and you will open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope that relaxed you or let something go. And like I said, little pieces of light make one long, beautiful stream of light in your life. And before you know it, it will be harder to connect to negativity. It will be harder to feel bad energy. Okay, so moving forward, I'd like to talk about love and emotions. And we're going to cover love and hate and anger and forgiveness. And we're just going to touch on these to give it awareness. So love. Love is a feeling of strong or constant affection for a person. Love is willingness to prioritize others' well-being, its extreme feelings, its feelings of care, profoundly tender. Now, I feel love in my heart. I know love is a hard word to describe. It's more of a feeling. It's like too abstract. And everyone has their own idea of what love means. And hopefully love means that you're caring about someone else and you're caring about yourself. Like I speak of self-love. And we love ourselves and then we can love others. Work on yourself. And then, now hate. What is hate? Hate is the opposite? And I don't know, is it? Hate is intense and passionate dislike. It's loathing, it's detesting, it's abhor, it's despising, and it implies emotional aversion. Now, interestingly enough, there's 3 types of the next topic, which is anger. Sometimes hate and anger go hand in hand. So anger is a strong annoyance, displeasure, or hostility, a wrath or rage. And there's 3 types of anger. There's passive aggression, open aggression, and assertive anger. So I'm just trying to bring awareness to like our emotions. You know, people say, oh, I hate this or I hate that. And what does that mean? Like when I hear the word hate, it's like very intense. And if you want to define it, it's despising, it's emotional aversion. It's really extreme, just like love is extreme, right? And anger, again, is also very extreme. It's aggression. So it's just defining that and becoming more aware of what that is exactly. You know, it's not none of these are easy words to throw around, right? I do throw around the word love. And now the next one I want to cover is forgiveness. And that's a big one, because when we forgive ourselves and we forgive others, we make room for more in our life, more prosperity, more abundance, more serenity, more harmony, more light, more goodness, more opportunities, good stuff. Forgiveness is probably one of the hardest things to do, right? When someone wrongs us. So forgiveness is the action or process of forgiving or being forgiven. It's a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment towards a person who has harmed you. So forgiveness really is, you feel like someone hurt you in some way, right? And to forgive them means that you're like giving them a pass, you're letting it go. And sometimes we don't even know that we're angry at someone, or we have to forgive them. We don't have to do anything, right? But I'm telling you, forgiveness is so big. When you forgive someone, and you don't even have to be in their presence, you know, people say, well, I've had clients say, well, I'm not going to speak to that person again, or I have no way to. I say, you don't even have to say it. You know, all of what we do and say transcends like anything matter. It passes through energetically to someone else. So if you say, I'm sorry to someone, and they're not even in your presence, they will feel it. On some level, they will feel it. So you can say, I'm sorry, or you can say either I'm sorry or I forgive you. And that's that. And that's just those are suggestions about having a higher consciousness. Now, I speak of hold on, I'm just trying to see where I'm at. I speak of sacred knowledge, and I'm going to touch on that quick, and then I want to talk about elements of nature, right? So I always say, how do we reach like a higher vibration? And I talk about what I call, it's my language, which I say sacred knowledge, because it is. It's what I've learned as an intuitive empath. because I was born and I felt very sensitive and I took on other people's moods and emotions and I didn't know what to do with it. And it took a really long time for me to build up some kind of, it's not warfare, but because I'm not into war, but what it is, it's like a protective shield. So it's light. And so I say light, right? Light. What is light? So light is the bright form of energy given off by something, such as the sun, and it makes it possible for us to see. But light can be in our hearts. Light can be, in a relationship, a beautiful moment. Light can be when you go out and you step in nature, and I love to watch the rain land on the leaves of the tree. Light can be something that you connect to internally or externally. So that's why I do visualizations, because hopefully I'm uncovering the beautiful glowing light that's in your heart. Next I want to say is nature. Which did I show? Nature? Nature, where are you, nature? Oh, here. No, that's not nature. I don't know what I did with the nature photo, but you know what I do have? I have dreams. So dreams are universal human experience that can be described as a state of consciousness characterized by sensory, cognitive, emotional occurrences during your sleep. If you keep track of your dreams, it will bring you to ultimate synchronicity. So these three, light, nature. Nature, what are we doing in nature? Nature, we're spending time in nature. We're spending time, that's for my picture on Native Americans. I know I have a nature photo here. And if we go out, we spend time in nature, and we connect to nature, we will find light. And if we record our sleeping dreams, we'll become more aware of our unconscious. And our spirit is sending us messages through our dreams. And they come in the form of, either they can be people, individuals who have passed and they're having a visitation with you. It might come through as somebody in your life or a circumstance that's going on in your life right now. It might come through a theme. A recurring theme might be a fear that you have or something that you have to take notice of. You might have a premonition dream. Now, if you don't remember your dreams, all you have to do is say before you go to sleep, I'd like to remember my dreams. And not necessarily that evening you're going to remember your dreams from, but within 2 weeks you will remember your dreams like I do, and then you will say, okay, I can't write them down anymore. But when you start to write down your dreams, there will be a pattern, and you will see where your mind goes or something that you have to focus on in your life. It's guidance for you. Okay, so I'd like to talk about the 4 elements of nature. And I have this Native American photo because I know the Native American Indians, it's a constant for them. It was their land, right? Or they don't say it was their land. It was nobody's land, right? But they were here and they counted on nature for their lives, symbols. So here we go. So native symbols. Earth. For the traditional Aboriginal person, they do not own the land, it owns them. Their relationship with the land and its creatures was strongly linked through spiritual tradition and a concept similar, but very different to the totemism of the American Indians' land's rights. With Western mindset generally unable to comprehend the strong link that Aboriginal person has with the land, that it is an integral part of his or her identity and very being. So we have earth, right? That's what we're referring to right now as earth. Now, they also thought of water as very important. Without water, all life would not exist. Water was an important element of the Aboriginal people. In this, rain making is known. Oh, wait, this is confusing. Rain making is a well-known skill of the magic men who would perform their rites just before the onset of the wet season to ensure its arrival. The element of water traditionally relates to the emotions, rushing streams, calm and tranquil lagoons, the hard and violent pelting of rain, and the crisp coolness of frost. Like water, we can reach boiling point or let off steam or chill out. Water has softness to it, yet with time, persistence has the capability of shifting the contours of jagged rock into gentle smoothness. Water relates to change, adaptation, and especially emotionally. Well, I really, really, really resonate with water because I have to live or be near water all the time. I had a terrible fear of water. It was like very deep-seated because I almost drowned. And then I took swimming lessons, and now I love and enjoy water swimming. Air. Air could carry the scents of animals, predators, or edible plants growing nearby, or the wind could wipe away, revealing tracks. Any track after a wind was known to be fresh, making tracks easier. Air can represent the heavens where the Creator lived. Spirits live. Traditionally, air relates to the mind, the intellect, and the quickness of thought. A predominance of air symbols may indicate that you are too much up in the clouds and not grounded, or so it's like basically the four elements we have to have harmony with and balance, right? Or it might indicate things are happening very quickly. So air relates to the spirit world. Fire. Fire provides a means for flushing out game from the bush as a side effect, encouraging fresh growth, which fire is an essential to the regeneration of many native plants. A predominance of fire symbols indicate a strong spiritual focus in your life. You may feel enthusiastic and fired up. Fire brings transformation and indicate change in your personal world that totally turn your life around, from the ashes of fire to regeneration. Okay. Well, I wanted to focus on that. Now, before we move on to the UAP report, I just want to mention angels, which I always talk about angels because I love angels. I adore angels, and I have angels surrounding me, and I can see traveling up to the heavens, like dancing angels all the way up to the heavens, from here all the way up, and in my third eye, but also in another realm. So angels, and this actual painting is a very beautiful painting, and it's about good triumphing over evil, a soul brought to heaven, two heavenly beings flying towards a distant light carrying a woman. The angels look upward towards heaven. Now we all know that angels do not have physical limitations, and they're not restricted by time and space. They are non-gender, immortal, benevolent, messengers and protectors of humanity, and they're traveling from the heavens to earth. They're benevolent beings that are powerful with few weaknesses and not subject to death. Angels have no physical cravings, and they're made up of pure spirit and divine light. And I'm going to again mention this painting of beautiful angels, and it's Angels Dancing Sun, Giovanni di Paolo, an Italian painter, and we love this, don't we? Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to move. Oh, I want to just say, be present, speak about the here and now, to release pain, anger, sadness, and fear, which is beneficial to your future life. When you let go of your emotions, progress happens. You can move forward. So we want to let go. I have a little bit of a Buddhist philosophy here, which is you don't want to have attachment, so you want to let go. If you let go, like I say, forgiveness, you let go of anger and hate and pain, but you want to release them. If you want to go down to a water source and let it go, shout out to the water, cry out to the water. Of course, you're alone. You want to journal, you write it all down, stream of consciousness, to let go of negativity and darkness. Okay, we're going to move on to humanoids. So we kind of touched on humanoids with the starseeds. And, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we're thinking, are these UAPs, flying saucers, this looks like a real classic photo, doesn't it? Are they being manned, or are there UFOnauts inside, or are they being are they being, what am I trying to say? Are they traveling without a passenger and like autopilot, or from another location? And so most recently, everyone knows that the report, the UAP report, right, which I'm sure a lot of you already saw online, it was released, it was declassified, and this was 9 pages, and then Congress received, I think I heard it was 78 pages, which I'm hoping some of it gets leaked, which what it really said, this was just an outline. So the report, so I had, I read about some of, online, there's, let me pull this up right here. Online, there's an article I read on the Intelligencer. It was on June 25th. And this is what they said. What does the report conclude? So the report, not much, it says. I have to tell you that what I think it includes is validation. Because, all the ufologists and those who have had sightings or encounters with, unidentified aerial phenomenon feel validated because they're acknowledging that it's possible, right? It says not much, at least regarding what these objects actually were or where they might have come from. So the assessment says that the lack of high quality reporting on the events hampers our ability, which is really the data. They don't have enough data. I believe they started with the data from 2004, and it was from pilots. Our ability to draw firm conclusions about the nature or intent of UFA. In other words, they still don't know what a UAP is. While the assessment says the available reporting on UAP is largely inconclusive, it nonetheless concludes there is currently no evidence that any of these objects are related to secret U.S. weapons program or were developed by foreign adversaries. Okay, so that means not America, not China, not Russia. Because if it was their technology, wouldn't they be using it against us already? Or wouldn't we be utilizing it? The clustering of sightings near U.S. military bases may just be the result of several kinds of collection bias. Some of these UAPs have turned off and on nuclear bases, nuclear weapons, and that's what the concern is. Is it a threat to national security? Yes, it is. Most of the UAP probably were physical objects since most were detected in multiple ways. So there was the radar, infrared, electro-optical, weapon seekers, and visual observations. In addition, there are probably multiple types of UAP objects exhibiting unusual flight characteristics. Instantaneous withdrawals where they just instantaneously disappear, anti-gravity, no propulsion, no man-made propulsion. So objects exhibiting unusual flight characteristics like the ones which appear to demonstrate advanced technological capabilities and could also be the result of sensor errors, spoofing, or observer misperception, and require additional rigorous analysis. Regarding whether or not these objects represent a threat, the report says UAP clearly pose a risk to flight safety in increasingly crowded skies. Well, yeah, because you don't want to crash with them, right? The USA needs to collect and analyze more information and consolidate reporting, develop a more efficient way of screening and processing the reports. Well, I guess it's giving them the clear to do that, isn't it? What about the report about aliens? Nothing. There's nothing in this about aliens because they just don't know or they're not sharing. The report makes no mention of extraterrestrial life and never even implies that there are any reported UAP could be extraterrestrial origin. That doesn't mean the task force has ruled that out possibly. The report lists 5 explanations for UAP. So the 5 are airborne clutter, which includes birds, balloons, drones, airborne debris. Maybe it's natural atmospheric phenomenon. Ice crystals, moisture, thermal fluctuations that may register on some infrared. Maybe it's U.S. developed technology, classified technology developed by the U.S. or its industrial partners. Or maybe it's technology developed by foreign adversaries on Earth. That's scary, like Russia, China, or other government or non-government entities. And last, which it probably falls under, is other, which it encounters for encounters where there isn't enough information to determine a categorization. So that's what we have right now. But I truly believe that we will get more information because something will happen. Now this is from, we've all seen this. It's from a video from a pilot, and this might have been where it comes out of the water or travels into the water. And here is, this I think is not real. This is just a photograph, but you got the concept, right? And then here's a few different spacecraft, aircraft, transmedium craft. And so this is that very strange looking shaped one, a triangle, which there was also the black triangles. Here's a sphere, more of a sphere. Now I wanted to, before we go, because we were past our time, but I'm really happy that everyone joined me today. And I have this chronological order of events that happened when it came to UFOs, right? And of course, on this is Roswell, but there's also many more UFO and famous encounters. And I sometimes do share with you some sightings from MUFON, which you can look up and you can see pretty much every day there's some kind of sighting on MUFON. And people will take a video with their phone and upload it. And some of the most bizarre visions that you want to see there. So Roswell was the first famous crash, really kind of that put it on in the history books, was the Roswell UFO crash. And I've asked some friends of mine who are ufologists and experts and researchers, and it's interesting that they come back with the year of 1947, which was the Roswell crash. They're a little skeptical about whether or not there was some kind of spacecraft that was taken to Area 51, because they talk about how if it was this alien technology, how would it have crashed and how would it have broken apart. And that was what I heard, because we talked about the memory metal that was found, supposedly, that you could crush up in your hand and it just spread out flat like you never crushed it. But the first one allegedly was Roswell UFO crash, and it was the United States Army Air Force allegedly captured a crashed flying saucer and its alien occupants, which I think there was 4 or 5 of them. And then they were taken to a hospital, and then they were teaching us how to fly, all kinds of stories, right? And that was what came out in the press originally. And then it was recanted, and they said that it was actually a crashed balloon. Moving forward from that, we can say, let's see, I'll find some, I want to move much more forward to let's see what happens. That's 1947. I have up the 60s. There's the Jimmy Carter UFO crash. I've never heard of that before. So the Jimmy Carter UFO crash happened January 6, 1969. Jimmy Carter's sighting of a UFO, which he didn't believe to be one of extraterrestrial origin, go figure on that one. Let's see if there's anything else here that seems a little interesting. I did mention the Barney and Betty, which was an alien abduction. More recently, so Stonehenge incident. January 12th, 1975, a Stonehenge incident, North Bergen, New Jersey. A UFO was allegedly sighted in North Hudson by a man, George Obrowski, while he was driving home. I don't know why that was called the Stonehenge incident. I thought it was like Stonehenge. Okay. Oh, here's one that I heard all about before. 1976 Tehran UFO incident in Iran. This was famous. So it was September 19th, 1976, Tehran. You've probably heard of that if you're a ufologist. A very bright object similar to a star was seen. After each approach to the UFO, the electronic equipment of two F-4s, interceptor aircraft of the Imperial Iranian Air Force, was disabled, along with ground control equipment at Mirabad International Airport, and it was documented thoroughly. Okay. Now I know that all along the government has been having programs in keeping tabs on UFOs, but now I think it's been acknowledged for us to know that it's actually true. Right? There was Blue Book, there was Signs, there was the whistleblower, his program that he worked on for the Pentagon. Okay, let's see. And now, more recently in 2014, Slakovia, a pilot, has an audio recording of the dispatcher's communication with the pilot of the cargo aircraft. The pilot asks if there were any military exercise on the ground. The dispatcher replies that there is some exercise, but it is in the eastern part of Slakovia. The pilot claims that 3 minutes ago they saw a rocket fly right under them from left to right. The dispatcher checked and had no further information. The pilot identified it as a rocket, meaning that it had to have its speed. It had to have some propulsion. Dispatchers inspected military bases in Slakovia, neighboring the Czech Republic and Poland, with no result. Okay, well, they're real. Here's one from June 20th, 2008 in Wales. A UFO sighting. According to media reports, a police helicopter almost hit by a UFO before it had to try to pursue it. Hundreds of people reported to have witnessed the UFO on the same or preceding days from different areas of Wales. Okay, well, so, I'm just trying to put this all together. Like I've put other things together, and I'm wondering the relationship between these UFO, UAPs, transmedian crafts, and the starseeds, the humanoids, the non-humans, and the DNA coming forward. So if you have any questions or you'd like to share any information, write in the chat. I'm so happy that you all joined me today, and coming live from New York. It's 4:16 right now. So I want to say before I go what's upcoming. That I stream now it's a schedule. I stream every Monday and Thursday, and I love to, between 2 and 4. And sometimes I've started a little bit before to present the guest, and then I also go after a little bit like I have today, because we had Joan and there was some technology issues, and I appreciate your patience. I don't know how this is going to fare with this video, but I do upload to YouTube, so you can go to Mary Amy Official, my YouTube account. I think I have 90 videos, and I have videos that are from shows that I've hosted, as well as how to be a light being, and just ways to find your peace and your serenity, because that's what I say, 66 days to inner peace and personal serenity. And you can find it. And maybe not everything that I discuss is right for you, but maybe one thing, and I plant a seed, and maybe there'll be something that I say or do that will brighten your day, and that's really what my effort is and my mission is. So you can also find any information about me on my website, which is maryamyofficial.com. I also have social media, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I have a page, and I love everyone that's joined us today on the chat, and I'll go through, and I made this board because I just wanted to acknowledge my followers, because I'm so happy and I feel good about. So I have, I list you, and I'm going to continue to list my followers. Oh wait, me, not that I know. What don't you know? What don't you know, Kaywa? Kaywa, you're on here. There you are, Kaywa, right there. Thanks for being a follower. And so let's go through. Like, I really appreciate some of these comments, and I love the beach. Elder reacts. I know that we had another stream earlier, and then we hit on this stream because we had bad technology. Okay, Dave Floyd, yay, I'm there. Of course you're there. Everybody who's a follower is on here. And I appreciate, all of you, and I love that everyone is interested in the same kind of, topics. And if you have any suggestions, I would love, I kind of fall into like the rabbit hole. I say I fall into the rabbit hole because I go, it's like I look up one word and then it takes me into this whole other realm and dimension. And right now we were talking about starseeds, and we were talking about different kinds of higher consciousness aliens, if you want to say. And then we talked about, some of these matter aliens apparently that might have been at people encounters, human encounters. We also talked about having a higher vibration, and I did a visualization, and Joan Carra was so much fun today. She was great. I think it's very hard for a psychic medium to connect with all these energies coming, and you don't realize that there's some kind of electromagnetic field that's coming off from our computers, from our phones. And if you see, I'm wearing earplugs, and someone asked me the other day, someone asked me the other day, why do I have earplugs? And I'll tell you, I know it sounds kooky. You probably, I know I am kooky, right? I have earplugs because what I found in the last couple of months, thank you so much. I had a really hard time with my flow. Like I mentioned to you that I had a speech thing, and I took less classes for speech because I had a near-death experience as a child, and so it traumatized me, and I had speech problems. So what I found, I have a better flow when I have the earplugs in, because if there's any kind of energies around me, it's distracting me. I don't know what's going on around me, but that's why I have the earplugs. So if you see these, it's like, sorry, but I'm hiding it, right? So I'm really grateful to everyone, and so I touched on exactly where you can find me. You can always find me. So Monday, so next one. Thank you. I love everyone out there. I love you all. I love you. So Monday, I think, I want to say, date-wise, I was thinking at first Monday was a holiday. It might be considered a holiday. I don't know, because it's a long weekend. So I'm going to do a stream on Monday. I don't have a guest yet. Sometimes guests pop up. I do have a guest for Thursday's show. It's Randy Marks, and she's a shaman, and she is a light being, and she takes us into another realm, and she's very articulate. She's beautiful, from Texas. So she's joining us on Thursday, 2 o'clock. Monday, right now, I don't have a guest. If I do have a guest, I'll put it in my schedule, and I will post it on my social media. But right now, I will maybe I'll do a recap I don't know yet. I haven't been inspired. I find inspiration. I just find inspiration. It comes to me. So anyway, so everybody, thank you. I love you all for being a follower. Anyone else who wants to follow, if you like the show, I hope you do. And if you don't, I understand, because I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. And blessings to you, because sometimes it's not the right time. You know, I come into people's life when it's the right time, or there's something, I'm a hook to them in some way. There's something that I do that's a hook. So I love you all. I hope you find the beautiful glowing light in your heart. I hope it's Thursday, and I hope you have a great weekend, and enjoy, relax. Please relax, find your peace, spend time with family and friends, eat something that you love. That's what I do. When I don't feel well, or if I need like rest time, I eat something that I love, and it makes everything a little bit better. So I want to say thank you for joining us today, and you can find me on MaryAmyOfficial.com, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my blessings to you in honor of my Scottish grandmother, Lucille. Lang me your lum reek, which means I wish you good luck and good fortune in the future. Best to everyone here today. Elder Reacts, Kwa, and the other folks who joined us, other individuals. I don't even know what to call people, but the other persons that were on the previous chat. Thank you so much. I love the beach. KD Floyd. You guys be good. Be well. I'll see you on Monday.